Alright everyone, we start off today talking about how the legacy media is stupid, as usual. Link in the description, archived of course. Ligma Johnson! We've got to talk about the now infamous trolling incident there outside of Twitter HQ, of course. Elon Musk comes in. He fires Agrawal, he fires the COO and a couple of others. The lower level firing thing appears not to have yet happened or is just currently in the works. And you got to realize people generally have severance packages if they have any clout within a company at all. Maybe not the janitor, but someone who does some coding. They get a little bit of a... They don't get a golden parachute, they get a silver parachute or something. A couple of pranksters stood out in front of Twitter HQ. The whole legacy media is there. Basically every goddamn network. And they've got, cardboard boxes like they just cleared out their desks. One of them had a copy of Michelle Obama's book for effect. And they identified themselves as Rahul Ligma and Daniel Johnson. So the joke is Ligma Johnson, They should have worked balls in for the second dude's name, like Balzac or something like that. I'm Daniel Balzac. That would have been funnier. There was room for improvement still, despite this being legendary. It's one of the greatest all-time trolls that we've seen so far this decade, so props to them for pulling it off. What I wanted to focus on is the fact that not one person in the legacy media apparently got the joke because it was trending on Twitter and they all reported on it. Oh my god, Elon Musk is firing the entire engineering team. Oh, Jesus Christ. He's brought in people from Tesla to look through the code. True story, apparently he did lock the actual code down so that Twitter employees couldn't tamper with it before Tesla engineers could go through it. So he's got his boys going in to make sure that everything is kosher there. My assumption is that they've already scrubbed anything incriminating by now anyway, because they knew that the sale was likely to go through. In the future, maybe you'll get internal communiques from some higher brass, maybe one of the people that was fired, to certain employees saying, oh shit, take care of line 300 there because that could be a problem. We don't want to go to federal prison. They've been tampering on Twitter with algorithms. They've been tampering with shadow bans. Their strike system is not transparent at all. Like fucking YouTube and Facebook are more forthcoming about their ban system and their TOS. That part is true. I just wanted to fixate on how the legacy media, apparently Ligma Balls is not a joke that's known to them. This has been a repeated problem. It ties into something else that I've witnessed from the legacy media. Enter Jared Holt of Right Wing Watch and people of a similar caliber, very low caliber, from different networks that typically work their way up. Like he's now working for the Atlantic Council, so a bunch of war shills. He's definitely moved up in the world. I'm sure he's very proud of himself. He's fighting disinformation online by making disinformation now. Even more direct than before. He got there, he ascended to another level by attacking a bunch of YouTubers, myself included, just to be clear. I helped make his career. How wonderful. Here's the thing. What you get is that a lot of people in the newsroom, like not the reporters, they're just brainless. All they do is ask a few prepackaged questions. They don't think critically, generally speaking. They're just there to harvest information and then, the editorial team spins it. Most of the people, though, in the editorial team are older, so they're not as tech literate. What they've started doing is hiring a handful of younger people to come in and instruct them on disinfo, online like Russian propaganda campaigns, trolling, cyberbullying, things of that nature. And they use that greatly to their advantage because they can peddle literally whatever they want. So the problem is that unless they're involved with one of these stories, they would be the only people in these companies, those young tech recruits that tend to be very specialized. If it's not directly a tech issue, I don't know why they didn't bounce it to them on a story about Twitter, nobody's going to fact check. So you can get away with calling yourself Ligma. Rahul Ligma. Yes. Oh man, I laughed so hard when I first saw it. Putting out the names in the first reports, like I think it was CNBC, MSNBC, all these others. I don't know if it got to CNN. And you're looking at the names that are being reported. We all got the joke. We all knew, oh shit, the legacy media got hoodwinked again in their effort to make anti-Twitter propaganda. The Washington Post, by the way, falling for it as well. Although they're certainly in on the escapade. The Washington Post reporting the use of the N-word has gone up 500 times or 500% or something like that in the last few days since Elon Musk completed his purchase. Oh my god, systemic abuse is piling back on the platform. Apparently, again, none of these people actually use Twitter enough to understand that Tumblrites are the ones doing that. They literally said that this was what they intended to do. We're going to fuck up the site, we're going to post crazy shit on it, and it's going to make Elon Musk look bad, and advertisers will leave. They openly admitted to it. Some of these accounts are 10 fucking years old. These are people that are consistently leftoids that are now using their alt accounts to shout racial slurs and to harass people because, you know, they know that a ban doesn't mean anything. They'll use a fucking burner phone. And Washington Post runs with the story. I found it funny how the timing was so close. They immediately ran with the story. It wasn't even 24 hours later. I wonder if anyone there is connected to one of those networks that branched out of the now dead platform known as Tumblr. I wonder if that could be it. No. It's just a bunch of racists decided that now that Elon Musk was in control, even though literally nothing TOS related has changed on the site, they just all of a sudden decided to start spouting off hate speech so that they can get their accounts banned. That's much more likely than a false flag in this situation. Dude, it happens all the fucking time. Flame wars and false flags are the name of the game between competing political and social factions on places like Twitter. So they're going with it too. They're doing it knowingly. I have to imagine they're in on that particular story. But as far as the Ligma balls thing goes here with the legacy media, I find it astounding that you can have dozens of reporters gathered around to take names and question people and stuff. And not a single one of them, they're not all old people, not a single one of them understands Ligma balls. Not a single one of them got it. None of these people bothered to ask that question. Ligma and Johnson. I think that we might want to fact check whether these are actual Twitter employees. I think maybe this is a ruse. None of them asked the question. Can you get like reporters that are tech literate and sort of like hip to the trolling culture or something like that before you embark upon any more major tech stories, please? Actually, I hope that they don't, because then we have the chance to ridicule the legacy media, and ridicule them we should, because this is very far beyond the pale. I can't imagine that not one of them suspected this. Now, maybe they just didn't tell their boss. They're like, oh yeah, he says it's Raul Ligma, you know, he looks vaguely ethnic, so I guess it means something different in Parsi or something. The other dude's Daniel Johnson. Well, that's kind of a normal name. Yeah, it's a dick reference, obviously, in the context, but maybe one of them decides to troll their editorial boss. They know that it's a joke, but then they're chuckling to themselves and saying, I'm not going to tell them that it's probably a joke. That'd be funny, too. A little workplace sabotage. Always a fun thing to do. And usually a good decision as well if you can bear the cost of losing your job. That's about all. Peace out.